Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. My name is David Lutchford, and today I just want to correct myself on something, okay? Because it came to my attention that the pit of a date fruit is a strange thing to eat. And this came to my attention thanks to Tony, the wonderful shopkeeper, the owner of the Parade gift shop in Cambridge, who mentioned in an email to me that it's strange that the soldiers ate the pit of the date fruit in the passage from Xenophon's Anabasis that we looked at in the last lesson. Now, ladies and gentlemen, full disclaimer, I am not a fruit person, okay? Or vegetables for that matter. I'm just not a fruit or vegetable person. I like eggs, I like beans. They're a vegetable actually, so I guess they're an exception. We're speaking about baked beans in particular here. Eggs, baked beans, bread, crumpets, sausages, bacon, pies, mashed potato. Okay, those are my loves. How many of those are a fruit or a vegetable? Anyway, I'm not a fruit or vegetable person, so I think this contributed to a slight misunderstanding of the Xenophon passage on my part, okay? So let me begin to explain this misunderstanding by putting the following image on the screen. This is a palm tree. In particular, it is a date palm, okay? Now, these things growing here are called dates, okay? I don't think I have ever eaten a date in my life. I haven't eaten most fruits because I don't like fruit very much. Anyway, these are dates. They grow at the top of the date palm, this particular type of palm tree, okay? Now, here is our passage from Xenophon's Anabasis. In particular, I've just got an excerpt of the passage. It's actually part of the passage we looked at last time. And it says, "Entauta kai ton enkephalon tu poinikos proton ephagon hoi stratiotai." Now, entauta is there or here. So there, the soldiers, ephagon, ate, and in particular, they first ate, meaning the first time they did it. So there, the soldiers first ate ton enkephalon tu poinikos. Now, the word enkephalos means brain. As I explained in the last lesson, it literally means the thing in the head, because kephaler means head, and the epsilon gamma is actually n, the preposition n being used as a prefix here to mean in. So an enkephalos is the thing in your head, i.e. your brain, okay? So this literally says that they ate the brain tu poinikos. Now, here we have the 3A noun poinix, and this is where the trouble begins, ladies and gentlemen, because the word poinix can mean date, as in the fruit, okay? Poinix can refer to the date fruit. But the word poinix can also refer to the date palm or to a palm tree in general, not just to the fruit of the palm tree. So the same word poinix is used concerning the palm tree and also concerning the date, the fruit that grows on the palm tree. Now, I took it in this particular excerpt as referring to the fruit. Okay, so I took to φοῖνιξ to mean of the date fruit. I say of because it's in the genitive. And since I took it in that way, I thought, well, what is the brain of the date fruit? Well, the date fruit, from what I understand about dates, having not eaten one to my knowledge myself, has a pit inside of it. That is a hard seed, right? That's what's in the core of the date fruit. So, inside of this thing, there is a hard seed, right? We can see it in this image here. There is the pit, okay? And I thought that's what Xenophon was referring to here. Out of context, I thought, okay, the brain of the date fruit is going to be this bit, the pit. But then Tony said it's a bit weird that they ate the pit because, you know, the pit is this hard seed in the middle of it. It's a bit strange to eat it. Having searched it up, it's apparently actually nutritionally beneficial to eat the pit of the date fruit, but don't trust me on that because I don't eat much fruit. And consult your doctor before you make any lifestyle changes like that. But anyway, I was thinking, therefore, that the enkepolos of the φοῖνιξ would be this, the pit of the date fruit. But that doesn't make much sense. And it doesn't make much sense when you consider the context. Because shortly after this, Xenophon tells us that when the soldiers removed the enkepolos of the φοῖνιξ would die. Okay? And so, given that it doesn't make that much sense for them to eat and also be impressed by the taste of the pit of the date fruit, and given that context that I've mentioned, how else might we read this? Well, φοῖνιξ, as I said, can also refer to the palm tree in general. In which case, this would say that the soldiers first ate the brain of the palm tree. Now, I didn't know about this because I'm not a fruit guy and I'm also not a tree guy, okay? I like trees, don't get me wrong, but I mean, I haven't studied the anatomy of a palm tree before. But it turns out that there is this stuff inside of a palm tree that you can eat. Let me show you it. It's this, okay? This stuff is apparently called heart of palm. And having looked at what other people have to say about this excerpt of Xenophon's Anabasis, it seems people think that's what he's referring to here. And therefore we should take φοῖνιξ to be referring to the palm tree rather than the date fruit. So it's talking about the brain of the palm tree, which is apparently this stuff, which they now call heart of palm, which I have certainly never eaten. Considering I don't think I've eaten a date, I definitely have not eaten this. But anyway, from Wikipedia, we learn that the heart of palm has all of these different names. It's called the palm cabbage in Florida and Trinidad. That's a weird combination of places to share the same lingo concerning the heart of palm. But anyway, for my foreign viewers watching, let me know. Do you know what this is? And do you call it one of these things? Or what do you call it if not? Okay? Anyway, this is what Xenophon is apparently telling us that the soldiers ate. This is what he's meaning when he says the brain of the palm tree. Namely, this stuff. The heart of palm. Or the cabbage of the palm, or the palm cabbage. Anyway, it shows that sometimes it does benefit you to have some knowledge concerning what you're reading about, as opposed to just knowledge of the language, you know, because I didn't know that the heart of palm existed until now, to be honest. But let me know if you knew about heart of palm. Also, the context helps. I should have looked at what came next in this passage rather than just picking it because it had an aorist verb in it for us to translate. In particular, it had the strong aorist erpagon, they ate. And then it said they were amazed at the taste or at the pleasure of the brain of the palm tree, which is apparently this thing. So if you've eaten this, let me know, were you amazed by the taste like the soldiers were? Maybe I need to do a heart of palm taste test and review it for you all. So I've made this correction, one, because I wanted to set the record straight, because I always wish to be as accurate as possible. And the second reason why is because I wanted to update our vocabulary list. Because at the end of the last lesson, I gave you a gloss of enkepolos and fοῖνιξ, where for enkepolos, I put pit as one of the meanings because I mistakenly thought this was speaking about the brain of the date fruit rather than the brain of the palm tree. And so we've updated this. When I say we, that's the royal we, that's me on my own. I've updated this in collaboration with you, the viewer, who's watching and experiencing this wonderful correction video. To heart, okay? I've replaced the word pit with heart because apparently in this context that's what it's referring to, the heart of the palm tree, but literally it says the brain of the palm tree. Moreover, with the word fοῖνιξ, I've added the meaning crimson, and that's just because having looked at this word more recently and related words, such as adjectives related to it, it and related words seem to have the meaning crimson more often than they do purple. Okay, so bear that in mind too. Anyway, I just wanted to update the vocab list there and set the record straight concerning the enkepolos of the fοῖνιξ. Okay? With that said, thank you for watching. I hope that you're now looking like this chap here. I hope you're thrilled with joy at having been edified about palm trees, date fruits, and heart of palm. Who knew such a thing existed? Maybe you did. You can let me know in the comments. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching, and I apologise for the mistake. Goodbye for now.